Hi, welcome to Movie Review Mom. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews, except for when I get COVID, which I'm still recovering from. Normally, I post reviews and trailer reactions every single day, but if you're a subscriber, then you've noticed that I haven't been doing that. In fact, I've been in my pajamas for the last 2 weeks. And so thank you so much for all of your kind messages, leaving the comments that you do, asking if I'm okay. I really appreciate that, truly. I just definitely live for your support and friendship. And so thank you so much for that. I really appreciated your concern. I'm alive, although I may have to stop. You'll see a lot of edit cuts because I'll have a coughing attack. So try to get through this review and catch up, because while I've been laying in bed dying with COVID, and COVID is no joke, I've been watching a lot of movies. And so I want to tell you all about them. And so today, let's just dive right in. The movie I'm reviewing is called Father Stew. This very touching and inspiring film is currently playing only in theaters. Eventually, it'll go to streaming. But if you're out and about and going to theaters, I think it's really worth your time. I'm going to try to start doing something new, and that is to give you my movie review mom grade at the beginning, because I know a lot of you guys really like that. And then I'll tell you why I gave it the grade that I did. But first, the movie is rated R and it's 2 hours and 4 minutes. The movie review mom grade I'm giving it is an A. So in a nutshell, after surviving a motorcycle accident, a terrible motorcycle accident, a former boxer and longtime agnostic starts to wonder if he can use his second chance to help others, leading to the surprising realization that he's meant to be a Catholic priest. The film was written and directed by first-time filmmaker Rosalind Ross, who happens to be Mel Gibson's girlfriend. So the list of things that I like about this movie is very, very long. So it starts off with Oscar nominee Mark Wahlberg. I just adore him and everything that he does. He's equally convincing in dramas and comedies. And in this movie, we even actually get to hear him sing. No, it's not a musical. He just does this little karaoke thing. Anyway, I just think he's great. He funded this film himself after being turned down by several movie studios. He gained about 30 pounds for this role, eating up to 11,000 calories a day to prepare before filming scenes that are seen in Act 3 specifically. It's quite a transformation. He and Mel Gibson are both said to be devout Catholics and really had a passion project or a passion for creating this project. They really made this happen. And speaking of Academy Award winner, Mel Gibson, he's fantastic in this. I've been a fan of his for years. And I know he went through a little PR trouble in some recent years about comments that he had said, but he has been doing some really great work lately and seems to have learned some from his lessons. Hopefully, I think. Anyway, fingers crossed for him that he'll continue to do more and more good things out there in film. He's, as I mentioned, in a relationship with the director and the writer, and his daughter-in-law, Annette Mahendru, also appears in this movie as the Virgin Mary that Father Stew sees in a vision. Another cast member who's an Oscar nominee is Jackie Weaver. She plays Father Stew's mom, and she's so good. And then other cast members include Teresa Ruiz and Nico Nicotera, among others. We get to see the real Father Stew during the closing credits. We see pictures as well as video clips of his life, which is so touching. And we also get to see a very fast picture of his parents in real life. About midway through the rolling credits at the end, there's a funny clip of Stuart, Father Stew, well, before he was a father, when he was just an actor trying to make it big in Hollywood. We see him giving advice to a very young actress, a young child, which is pretty hilarious. So keep watching during the rolling credits. And then after that midpoint, then it's just rolling credits. I loved the meaningful soundtrack, and I thought that the music was carefully chosen and added a really nice touch to the film. There are so many inspirational quotes and little nuggets of wisdom in this movie. Lots of humor and moving insights. And you definitely will laugh, but you're also definitely going to cry. I went through several tissues, I admit. The movie is incredibly inspiring, but even more so because it's based on a true story. All right, so now the list of things that I didn't like about the movie. Well, okay, I actually can't really even think of anything that I didn't like. I really enjoyed this film, and I'm not even Catholic. I'm a Christian, however, and so I really admire the faith and determination that Father Stu demonstrated in his life. All right, so now some tips for parents. There is a ton of profanity, including many, many F-bombs. So just beware. It's not really family friendly in that regard. There's violence. There are various weapons used. You see Stewart in his terrible motorcycle accident. I don't even know how they filmed stuff like that because it looked so real and hardcore. Some of the themes that are illustrated really well in the movie are forgiveness and redemption, of course, second chances and change, gratitude, faith, persistence, and getting up every time you fall. And I love that Father Stewart was a boxer. He knew how to take a hit and get back up, and that served him well in the end. And it's really sweet who reminds him of that fact. No spoilers. Other themes are family and role models. So as I mentioned, there are a lot of funny lines and interesting lines in this movie. I have them all down on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So you can go check those out over there. But one is when Mel Gibson, he's super foul mouthed and just, a horrible human being. And he says to his son, I always loved you for the piece of bleep you are. That's unconditional. Anyway, and it's really great to see a lot of character growth with a lot of the different characters. Some of the interesting lines are one spoken by the barfly, played by Nico Nigatera, and he says, he's talking to Father Stu before he's a father, and he says, life's going to give you a gut full of reasons to be angry, kid. You only need one to be grateful. And I thought that was so insightful, and it's really cute because afterwards, he's rolling his eyes, and Mark Wahlberg says to the bartender after the barfly leaves, he's like, what was he drinking? And the bartender says, water, because it was a really good line, good piece of advice. Now, throughout this journey, Mark Wahlberg has a crush on this girl who's very, very Catholic. And she tells him, he doesn't promise your stories will make sense, but he does promise you'll find your greater purpose if you're patient. And I thought that was really good advice. And she's played by Teresa Ruiz. She did a really lovely job. And then finally, Mark Wahlberg's character, Stuart Long, he says, we shouldn't pray for an easy life, but for the strength to endure a difficult one. And he sure had a difficult life. And again, it's just so inspiring to see a true story about someone who was able to take hits and keep coming back and fighting more. All right, so before we go, let me give you a couple of recommendations for other movies that I enjoyed that also had that theme of redemption and second chances. The first one is called Wrath of Man, and there actually is a religious element and a street fighting tough guy element. It's actually very good. And then another one is based on a true story. It's called The Mustang, and it shows guys that had a very rough upbringing and made bad choices, end up in prison, and found their redemption by working with horses. And like I said, it's based on a true story, and it's also very, very sweet, but tough language and that kind of stuff. All right, that's it for my review today. I'm gonna go take a nap now. Have a fantastic day. Be sure and visit me on Instagram and Facebook, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.